Buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias. Peace, peace, peace and blessings. Samila Hakutare and Salam Aleikum. How you guys doing? Pray you guys are doing great. This morning, Friday here in Philadelphia, 82 degrees already. Could be probably a little bit more, but that's what the barometer on the car says. We have a heat wave warning for the past couple of days. Pretty hot out here. Gotta turn on the AC, you know how it is, and waste fuel. But I'd rather be cool than hot. Anyway, I wanted to come in here and talk today about a word or an explanation that sometimes, or a lot of times, that I have heard a lot, and even I have said, and sometimes, depending who am I speaking to, I might say it because it does come out. And there's a problem when, and it happens to a lot of us, a lot of times when we hear things for so long, we become like parrots. And I have been a victim of that, and many people out here have been victim of being a parrot. Meaning that when you hear something, a word, a saying, an explanation from multiple people, you start using that saying or that explanation or whatever it may be because you see it as being a valid saying or valid word or valid thing, because there's so many that people behind it that contest, they speak the same. And what word am I speaking about? What explanation am I talking about? Okay. You know that one of the things that they say that women are restricted in Palo Mayombe, Palo Monte, whatever hama you're from, Riquísima Longo, they say that the woman is restricted from a Yaya, right? She's restricted, and I'm not saying all ramas do this, but the predominant does or do. Women are not allowed to sacrifice animals. Yes, you'll get some ramas that women only could sacrifice roosters and without using a embele or embele koto or embele white, whichever way you know how to say it, because we know there's different dialects in the Bantu language, and different ways of saying things. So some houses allow the women to twist the neck off the animal and they could feed the ngangas or whatever they have to do like that. Some let them use an embele koto, or whatever way you call it. And then a lot do not. It's considered, for what a lot of people understand, a taboo, a no-no. And there are other things that involve this situation, because we have to understand that there's been a lot of restrictions put on the women, and this comes from way back, right? Man has taken over in a lot of things that women were also part of or were capable of doing, and it's kind of like, you know, a lot of people don't want to explain this or don't want to speak about this, but it's the truth. You know, you go back into history and you see things that women did that in their traditions that we in our traditions we hold back. But what happens? Because we are initiated into a community, we have to follow the guidelines, the treaties, the Ensingatikanda, the biogenetic rope of that community, we cannot overpass them, overpass the rules and the things that are established. So a lot of us are we are forced to stay with and following those treaties, you know, meaning that if I could have I, in other words, would have maybe let Yaya sacrifice with a embele, koto or something, you know? But I can't because I follow a certain lineage that do not. I'm just trying to explain myself so we won't get things all confused. Because there are some that do it with knives, there are some that do it with their hands, and there are some that just not accepted, not permitted to sacrifice any animal whatsoever. They need either a godchild, there's a tata, or a tata there, or mayordomo, or somebody to do it for them. Just getting that out the way to make it clear. I don't want no confusion or anything that I said this and I said that. Now, what happens? We're going to go back with what's one of the things that's always it's said. And like I said, I do this also. Is that when you are asked, why can women not sacrifice? What are one of the main things is you hear? Well, women are the one who give life. So how could they take life? That's one of the main ones that you will hear. But when you analyze things, even from way back, and you start studying and understanding and seeing what was done in them days and how things were done back then now how things are done now, and then what you understand about a lot of power was taken away from the woman in certain ways, and then you ask yourself, okay, we understand that a woman gives life, but how many women out here in the world in general take life? How many women get abortions? How many women are in the military and have to kill? All this with reasoning doesn't make any sense. Because we understand what's going on at the moment we are being initiated, or we have been explained what is the purpose, what is the reason, what happens. If not, you should have asked or ask what happened and what not and what does it mean. We look at this like it's a literal birth, and it's not a literal birth. You understand? So there are things, there are taboos, there are things that are metaphors, there are things that represent certain things, and it also becomes almost like a shadow of things. But there are also things like this. A woman cannot sacrifice animals because she gives life and she doesn't take life. But when you look at it from another perspective, there are plenty of women that take life. So, is that the true answer? Is that the absolute way of looking at it? Yes, for some Munansos, and even within myself, I have looked at it in that form for a long time. A woman should not sacrifice animals in the lineage because, to me, she gives life. And the representation, one of the representation of a woman being there is a rebirth, right? A rebirth of a person that dies spiritually. But when you get more understanding on what's going on, and I'm not saying that whoever follows this way and whoever believes this to be, and that is the reason why, hey, keep doing what you're doing, keep following your leaders, keep following your elders, don't disrespect them, don't nothing, because in a metaphorical sense it makes sense, okay? But at the same time, the limitation of the being birthed is fine, but the limitation of not being able to sacrifice, that's where I am actually basing this conversation on. At the end of the day, what it really has to do is with the treaties that your lineage made and has, that you have to follow. Because I never said I was a Tatanganga. I said it in my last video, Tatazongo. I think it's the first time I ever said my name in Bantu and my rank was in my last video. And now, if at some point in time I branch off, right? Or let's say there is a godson that receives an Nkisi, and he's already a specialist in the medicine, and he's on his own, and he decides to leave and break off of the Nsingadikanda, the lineage, meaning he decides to take his things apart and redo what he wants to do with his things in a different way. He's starting his own lineage. He's not no more part of my lineage once he breaks that apart. So he could change and make his treaties to the way he feels fit to make them. And then he could accept people from the same sex if he wants, and initiate them. He could give license to women to sacrifice animals. You know, there's many things that person could do as an Nganga on its own that I cannot do, because I follow a biogenetic rope, a lineage. I follow codes. I follow restrictions. I follow rules, treaties that I cannot break. You know? And yes, there are some ways, depending of what when you first conformed an Nganga for a godchild or whatever, there are things around in the air and all that happens and could happen or whatever, but we're not speaking about that. Those are things that don't speak about. But I just wanted to come in real quick, like always, guys, give you guys a little something, at least 2 videos back to back. To me, it doesn't have anything to do with a woman gives life and doesn't take life. To me, it has to do with the lineage, the treaties, they were established. And if they were established and it was said that no woman could sacrifice animals, then that's what we got to follow. Not that the woman cannot sacrifice animals because she's the giver of life, if you understand what I'm saying. But once again, it has a spiritual understanding. If you look at it from a spiritual sense, on the part of a woman has to be there because you are being reborn spiritually. That's fine. We're talking about the sacrifice, not the reborn part or anything else that a Yaya does. Okay, I just want to make that clear, because I don't want any issues or anybody commenting on something that I did not say or I did not mean, and probably someone will understand or take it that way. Pretty soon I'm gonna be making a short video giving you information on a person that I know that is a tata, that does woodwork. Very good woodwork, handmade, from staffs, from kinikinis, from encondis, from different things he does out of wood. I spoke to him. I asked him if he wanted me to give his information out. He said yes, but I'm gonna wait maybe next week, until next week, make a short video and give his information out for you guys. Whoever are interested could get in contact directly with him through email, and you deal with him personally. All I could say, I'm pleased with the work that he has done for me, and for my understanding and for how I see the work and the time that it takes, affordable for me, for what I understand. But those things, you guys will speak directly with him. I want to wish you a good Friday, a blessed Friday. Be safe, guys. It's hot, hot, hot. I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Have a good day. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Que sambe la gutare always. And be safe, guys. Blessings. Peace. Thumb up the video, guys, just for the algorithm. Be safe.